Hello and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. We're on Blackpool promenade in the sunshine on a lovely day, and we're off for lunch. It's my favourite film of the week. I enjoy making it, you enjoy watching it. And today I'm off to Wendy's. Never had a Wendy's burger before, don't know anything about them. So I've done a little bit of research on the Webley and had a look to see what kind of things that they sell. Apparently they've got some quite famous dishes, and we're going to go and try something and see what they've got. So if you're new in these parts, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter, and then you'll get all of the updates from the Fylde Coast, including events, things to do, interesting stuff and lots more. So let's go and have a look then, shall we? So it's directly across from the beach house and the festival house, which is the wedding chapel and tourist information centre. So we're right at the side of the lovely Blackpool Tower, as you can see there, look. Right on the side of the tramway, and it's at the corner of Church Street. Yes, it's Church Street. And it's what used to be originally the old Harry Ramsden's, and they moved out and Viva took it on, and it closed a while ago, and Wendy's have refitted it all, and it's literally only been open a couple of weeks. I said I was going to wait until the rush had died down before I went in and tried it out. So it's open forever, amen. So the hours of operation, if you can just see it on there, Monday to Thursday, 8 while 11, and until 2 a.m. in the morning on Fridays and Saturdays. Goodness me, you can only assume that they're working shifts. Inside it's all bright and clean and newly laid out. And then you order at one of the terminals, which is a good idea actually, because you can choose exactly what you want. So it takes you through it step by step. So you choose your burger, which in my case I got the one off the small menu, and I wanted what it came with, but I also added some bacon. And then it takes you through whether you want extras or whether you want anything else. So I've ordered some small fries, because you can't not, can you? You can't not. I didn't need any extra ketchup, because you can have your own little squirt of ketchup with it, which comes in a little paper cup. And then I also ordered a Frosty, because I wanted to see what these Frosties were all about, and I wanted the one that's got the red sauce in the cup. So I don't want this plain one. I want the one that's got the red sauce. So I just went through the menu until I found the one that I was looking for, which is this one. Apparently it's a limited edition. It's got raspberry sauce around the cup and then crushed chocolate curls on top. So that's the one that I ordered. And then when you've done all that, you just pay for your order in the normal way. I just had a look to make sure I'd got the right thing and paid. And then you pick your food up at the collection point, and then you take it and sit down inside. So here's my little selection of goodies. I've got my fries in my little paper bag, which I've left there until I'm ready for eating them. I've got my drink, my Frosty and my burger. So I'm going to tuck in now, because as you can imagine, I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. Right, let's begin, shall we? So there's my Frosty, look. And here's my burger. I've never had a Wendy's, never been in a Wendy's, not a big sort of burger frequenter anyway. I have to say it looks very nice. We'll have a look inside it first and scrutinise what we've got. So there's your square patty, and away we go. Let's have a bite. I got the small one off I think it was the everyday menu, as opposed to the sort of larger burgers. So there's one beef patty on this, there's a slice of cheese, and included with it is lettuce, onion, and I think there was tomato, and mayonnaise and pickle, which is, I have to say, it's very tasty. I do like a bit of bacon on my burgers, so I also added the bacon option. So the good thing about ordering at these terminals is that you can personalise your order to exactly what you want. So if you don't like gherkins, you can leave them off. If you don't like onion, you can leave that off. You can do exactly what you want. You can have extra bacon, you can have literally anything. So because it's got mayonnaise on it, it's a bit messy. You can see it's dripping out of the bottom of the burger as I'm biting it. But it's very tasty. It's got a slightly char-grilled taste like you get from Burger King. Much more tasty and better cooked than you get from McDonald's. There you go, look, you can see it as I've bitten into it. You can taste the meat and you can taste the lettuce and the fresh ingredients and the crunch of the onion and the mayo. So all in all, I was quite impressed with the burger. There was a queue a mile long on opening day when I just flashed the camera around to just have a quick look. And I dread to think how many thousands of people they've served since then. So the question is, have you been to Wendy's? And if you did, what did you think? So pop a comment underneath while I'm busy filling my face. And I tell you what, I've sat in the little seat for two, right in the corner next to the door, and it's absolutely fascinating sitting here. I think it must be the best seat in Blackpool. I'm looking out the window. I'm all of a goggle. It's good view though, look at what I can see. It's a wonder I'd not got vertigo by the time I finished. I just sat there with my mouth open watching everybody walking past. I don't know, burger with a view, burger with a view. Anyway, back to my lunch. And as if by magic, lo and behold, my burger has gone. Very nice that was too. So right now we're going to tuck into the fries. I'd left them in the paper bag because I didn't want them to end up freezing. Because experience tells me that when you sit in an air-conditioned restaurant and you've got a little carton of fries like that, if you eat your burger first, you end up with your chips cold. Just look at them, they look lovely. They're really nice. They're lovely, they're really crispy. They've got the skin on, the slim fries, and they're salted as well. They're lovely, they're really nice. I'm going to put them back in the paper bag and keep them warm while I'm eating them. Because it's, as I said, it's an air-conditioned restaurant and there's a bit of a draft blowing. So I don't want my chips frozen by the time I get to the bottom of them. But they're lovely. It says on their website that they've got a particular way of cooking them that maintains the crispiness. As you can tell by my face, I'm quite enjoying them. So here you are. Here's a close-up look at some of the crispy chips while I carry on dunking. So at the side of the serving counter, there's a bar that's got all of the drinks fountains, and there's a tomato ketchup dispenser, and there's the serviettes and the straws and all that kind of thing. So you can see you get the little paper cups so that you can put some tomato ketchup in that, which is, I have to say, very nice to dunk your salty chips in. And they give you a cup. They don't give you a drink like they do in McDonald's, they give you a cup. And the soda fountain is at the side of the counter. So I presume that means that you can fill your little cup up as much as you want. And the ketchup looks as if you can just help yourself to that as well. So you can't really say further than that, can you? I mean, what more could you want? A bag of chips and a view like that so that you can sit goggling out of the window. Anyway, I've decided that I could have a career as a magician, because along with the burger, I've managed to make the chips disappear as well. Abracadabra, there you go. But now we get on to the serious business. the serious business of desserts. I have to say though that those fries were very, very nice. Having never been to Wendy's, I'd never heard of Frosties, to be honest. Apparently they're iconic. They're described as iconic. So obviously somebody somewhere knows all about Frosties, even if I've got no idea. So this will be a revelation. I must say I'm interested to see what it is. So on that marvellous hurdy-gurdy terminal thing, you can choose whether you want vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream. And when I say ice cream, it's somewhere in between a milkshake and an ice cream. I've gone for the raspberry swirl, which apparently is a limited time offer. So there's raspberry sauce swirled around the inside of the cup, and then crushed chocolate curls scattered on top. So you get the taste of the chocolate and the raspberry together, which is very nice. So it's runnier, slightly runnier than an ice cream. It's not solid like ice cream is, but it's definitely not as runny as a milkshake. It's sort of somewhere in between, I would have said. And it's quite a pleasant consistency actually. I'm not a big fan of milkshakes. But this is really tasty. And the chocolate is just strong enough to be chocolatey, but not that strong that it nearly chokes you by the time that you get to the end of it. So I was really pleasantly surprised with that. I like that. I'll definitely have one of them again. And even though it's not solid like an ice cream, it's really, really cold. In fact, it's making my fingers freeze up as I sat eating it. So I just sat and cheerfully munched my way a pleasant 5 or 10 minutes down to the bottom of the cup, enjoying the view and enjoying the sunshine and people watching. What did you think to that then? I have to say I really enjoyed that. So I thought I was going to get, it's a bit like when you go to Argos and they give you 2 receipts. You get one for your money and you get one for your food, and I thought she was going to give it me back because it had got all the breakdown of everything and how much everything had cost, and I've just got the till receipt. So I completely forgot to order a drink. So my first check is for £8.07, and that's for a burger plus bacon and a Frosty in chocolate flavour with the raspberry sauce and a small fries. So that was £8.07, as you can see there. So I don't think that was bad. And then I forgot to get the drink, so fortunately I remembered while I was stood in the queue. So they give you a cup, and I presume that means that you can fill it up as many times as you want, as opposed to giving you a glass of drink. There's a soda fountain on the counter at the side of the serving range, and that was £1.49, which is there. So let's do some maths. So I make that £9.56 for that little banquet. More than McDonald's, less than a lot of things I've had. Better than McDonald's, definitely. So I think if you're wanting fast food that's not astronomically expensive but is genuinely quite nice, I think that's a good bet. So until next time, we'll see you later. Let me know if you've been to Wendy's in the comments underneath the video and tell me what you thought. Bye for now.